Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Rashana Levin, Realtor with KW United. So in today's video, I am going to highlight what I feel are pain points for sellers in today's market. So let's get into it. So I can't remember all the points, so I have my lovely device here. So up first, we have high mortgage rates. So high mortgage rates means that shrinks the buying pool. So that means homes are not selling as quick as they used to. It's taking longer. But remember, this is a normal market. It's still not normal, but it's I would say a healthier market. But everybody's so used to a house being sold that quick. It's like, oh, well, something's wrong with the house. What's wrong with it? But remember, every house sells for the right price. So point 2 is pricing. If you overprice a house in today's market, if a home typically sells, say for instance, in 15 days in your market normally, if you overprice because you want to just see how the market is going to do, that could be detrimental to you, especially if you got to go right now and you wait because more homes are coming on the market. So if you price too high, you're always going to be chasing the market. And you're not just on the market alone anymore. You have maybe 3, 4, 5 more houses that are comparable to yours. So you've been on the market for a while, so buyers kind of already know that you're overpriced. So why should I buy your house instead of the new houses that are comparable, but it's new, fresh? You know, most people like to compete. It's very interesting because some of my clients don't want to offer on a piece of property if it's just been sitting there stale. It's like, no, nobody really wants it. Why do I want it? Why do I want it? Because nobody else wants it. But as soon as they reduce the price and like, oh, well, now we have a bidding war because everybody wants it. So price it right, because if you don't, you could be on the market for 60 days, 90 days, 180 days, longer than that. And those monthly payments that you're paying, that's not going to principal, so you're really not doing anything. So think, these are thousands of dollars that you're spending that you're not going to get back. So when we work together, we will talk about a game plan about not overpricing. Point 3, increase buyer negotiations. So in the past, it was just a quick, I put my house on the market and then no contingencies. Nobody wants a financing contingency. Nobody wants an appraisal contingency. They'll pay whatever they said on the piece of paper. They're willing to go above and beyond and pay more than the appraised price. They're guaranteeing that with an appraisal gap. They are not asking for a home inspection. They're doing it just for informational purposes only, and they still move forward no matter what they find. Not now. It's a lot of different ways of reasons why a buyer decides to walk away. But the main thing, as soon as the house goes on a contract, the main negotiation after a sales price, and we reviewed all the terms, is the home inspection. So if you can't come up with the right terms, then they're going to walk away. And then the next point, if the appraisal comes in low and you're not willing to, what is it really worth? Is it really worth you letting the buyer walk away for $5,000? Is it? I don't know. Then you have to go back on the market. Are there more buyers now that you're on the market or less? And you're not going to get that time back. You may have already you're packed up. So now the house is not in showable condition as it once was when you actually went under contract, because you're in the process of moving. So the house doesn't even show how it used to. So it's different now. So think about that. So I talked about appraisal contingency. So that's point 4. So if there is a gap, are you willing to cover the difference? What are you willing to do? That's always my question. What are you willing to do? Do you really need to sell? You have to really think about, well, maybe this is not the right time for you to sell or not. So longer times on the market, 0.5. So you have to be aware of, because there is more competition, there is more listings coming on the market, that is going to be more competition for you. As before, you may have been the only house on the market in that zip code, or especially in the neighborhood. So now you're competing with 5 people. So, and they're almost identical to your house. You might have additional features. You might have a nice patio or something. So that's something to think about. Right now in today's market, 0.6 is economic uncertainty. It's a lot of people that unfortunately have lost their jobs, and there's a lot of people that are afraid that they may not have a job. So that is putting a pause or putting the brakes on the market, because people still want to move, but they're like, well, should I make that? People aren't really, I wouldn't say people would buy a house as an impulse buy, but it's not like, oh yes, I'm running to do it. It's not that. It's like, well, I'll just wait, I'll just rent. But, so that means that shrinks the buying pool also. Let's see. Regret over rejecting offers. So I would always advise my client to take a backup contract, because you never know. Something could happen crazy. Like you could be under contract with a house. This is morbid, but you could be under contract on a house and the buyer passes away. Then what? I mean, you can't get upset. It's a part of life. Things happen. It's unfortunate. Or the buyer walks away for another reason, the inspection, or, they walk away for the HOA documents or condo documents. They decide, well, they really don't like the house. So they use that to get out, which they can. So that is a possibility. And then some sellers decide that they don't need a realtor. It's, oh, well, yeah, we don't need a realtor. I'm going to just sell my house on my own. And that is okay. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot of challenges that come with that, because if you're not pricing the house right, if you don't properly disclose to the buyer what you are supposed to do, you could be liable for a lawsuit. You're supposed to disclose things. So you have to know what you have to know to do this. This is why you should hire a professional. Are you really saving money if in the end you actually get sued because you didn't disclose? I don't really know if that's worth you saving the money, because then you're going to spend even more, and then you're going to be up at night and you got to hire a lawyer. It just can be complicated. And then the final point is commission concerns. So sellers don't really want to pay the compensation. They want the service, but they don't want to pay for it. So it's like, well, we can't work for free. But I feel like this: if you have compensation concern or commission concerns with an agent, talk to them about it. If you talk to them about it and say, well, I'm willing to hire you, or ask them, do you have another program that is available to me? Maybe I won't ask you for all your services, but maybe I'll ask you for part of your services. Maybe they will be willing to make adjustments to their compensation. Of course, they have to ask their broker, can they do that? But ask that as well, because you got to realize we are 1099 employees. We don't get paid a salary. We get paid when the deal closes. So if that house takes a long time on the market, that's marketing dollars, that's conversations with you, and we're talking, and we can't get that time back. So when you really average it out, how long the deal took to get closed and all the back end things that need to be done, you really didn't make that much. Probably less than minimum wage, to be honest. But everything is negotiable. You just have to talk to your agent. So, and then if you're not happy with them, you can unfortunately fire them and hire someone else. But just make sure that you do it the proper way. So that is all for the pain points. I know it's a lot of pain points, but we are going to make it through this market. Every market is challenging. When we had the pandemic, that was a different challenge, because when you're on the buy side, you're selling your house. When you're on the buy side, it's like, oh, I can't get a house because X, Y, and Z. But it might be the right time for you to buy a house now, because like to upgrade or downsize, because it's more houses on the market. You might have the opportunity that you may have not had prior. It's like, well, a seller may be willing to take a contingent offer that you have to sell your house in order to buy their house now. But 2 years ago or even 6 months ago, that wasn't allowed. It's like, I'm not taking no home sale contingency. No, you better sell it before you move here, or you better figure out how to buy it before you move here. So every market has its challenges, but you got to figure out what's the best thing for you at that particular time when you need to do it. Do you really need to do it, or is it wants? And if you want to do it, what are you willing to do to make that happen? So I implore you to talk to me about your real estate goals, whether you're a buyer or seller. Of course, this is a seller video, but if you're a buyer or seller, I'd like to talk to you about your real estate goals in Virginia, Maryland, and DC. And if you have any questions about another market, I have a network of agents throughout the country, so I can refer you to them. Make it a great day. Like and subscribe, and give me a call at 240-284-4114.